Hey, I'm Ben, and in this video I'm going to show you a marking method that will get you perfectly aligned butt joints with your DF500 domino every time. Stick around. Alright, so at this point I've dimensioned all of my lumber and I've ripped and cross-cut everything to the final dimensions. And so what I've done is taking the two outside of the two long pieces here that I'm going to be attaching my struts to. I've gone ahead and marked on both, holding each board together like so. That way I know that my lines are in the same spot on each board, which will help with alignment later down. And what I'm doing also while I have both boards here is I'm taking these lines from up top and I'm transferring them to the inside of the line, and this is where my cross members are going to align to on the other board. So I've already transferred the lines on this one, and so now I'm going to take this one and transfer it. So again, I'm marking it on the inside of the board. So transferring from the edge to the face. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to line up my cross members with the lines that I've just made. And what I want to do is I want to start marking each of these three middle spans. These are pretty easy. I don't have to worry about marking these. I probably will just for the sake of doing it, but obviously to do a butt joint, this is a miter joint. You don't have to worry about doing that. So I'm going to start off on one corner, and I want to pay attention to which face I want to use as a reference point. So I need this cross member needs to be at this side of the line just for measurement sake, because I need it to be here for when I put a carcass on top to anchor it down. So bottom line is you want to choose which side of the line your cross member is going to be on. And so I want this corner to be my reference point. And so I'll mark here, and then I'm going to pivot and mark here, and then an X will represent where my domino is, not exactly, but just as a visual representation where my dominoes are going to be. So again, using this face right here, I'm going to go over this side and do the same thing. So again, I want to reference this face and this face, so I'm using this corner. So I'll put my mark here, and then where my dominoes are going to go. And so this way, once I pivot this board over to do the proper plunge, these letters are going to match up. So now I'm just going to go through and do the rest. And then for the miters, I'll just use numbers since I use letters for those. 4. And the reason why I'm marking everything, every corner, every joint, is so that whenever I start moving boards around to domino the end grains, I want to make sure that I'm lining my boards back up the way that they're supposed to. Because I've done butt joints quite a bit now, and what happens whenever I don't mark, I'll plunge on this side of the board here, or on this side of the line here, and then on this end I'll plunge here. And so whenever I go to line it up or to put it together, this board is crooked, and so I have to replunge, I have to fix it. And so now I'll get the butt joint corrected, but now I have to fill in 2 domino holes here. And so just marking it this way makes referencing much easier. Listen. It's the best part. Okay, so I'm going to take A. And this is where marking really helps out. So you can see how I know that I want to this board to be on this side of the line because my A's are matched up, and I know that I'm plunging here and I'm plunging here using this corner as a reference point. And that's why I mark my layouts in this way, is because if I get distracted, if I get confused about something, because I mark them in this way, unless I'm not paying attention to the markings, there's no way for me to mess this up. And so all that's left now is to clamp my workpiece down and then start plunging using my corner as a reference point. One other thing, this is why you want to mark your face frame. It's because this line right here, that's what I'm gonna align my board to. And to keep it universal, keep it the same, I want to make sure that I just cover up that line, and I apply that same ruling to all the other pieces. That way I know it's going to line up on the other board. So I'll plunge this one first. Just making sure that it's lined up good. Okay, so plunge this way. Now I'm going to flip it over. Again, using the plate and reference this. So now I'm going to put my boards back. Grab the next one. Line up my letters. Make sure I'm on the line. I really can't stress enough how important it is that when you're stacking your pieces up, right, so I've got my letters lined up, how important it is that this end grain provides a square support for this board when you go to plunge. Like, that's why it's so important that you mark a line on the face of this board right here. Because when you plunge into the end grain, you're referencing the bottom here, right? If this is the corner. So I could take this piece off, lay it flat here, and I could still plunge and not worry about alignment because I'm referencing the bottom plate. Whereas with here, if I don't have something that is square to push this plate up against, when I go to align this piece, it's going to be crooked, obviously, if my dominoes are crooked. So ensure that you really want to take your time and make sure that the edge of this end grain is following this line perfectly, and then it's nice and square. Way to check before you even try to do your dry fit to make sure that everything lines up is just to take your two side pieces and line up your edges, and then everything should be on the same in a line with the other, and all these are, so I know that I'm good for the dry fit. Now, to make sure that we're good, I'm going to take a square. I'm not worried about these joints not being completely together. They'll come together. Everything looks good. Okay, I hope this helps. If you are well accustomed to screwing up butt joints like I used to be, then drop it in the comments. Let me know how frustrating that used to be. And subscribe if you want more videos. Obviously, I'm very much into Festool. That's kind of all that I have. And thanks for watching. And I'll see you in the next video.